Money is far more than a simple medium of exchange. It is the invisible thread that binds the world together, a force that dictates behavior, loyalty, and even morality. Those who fail to recognize its true power are often blinded by superficial measures of strength, armies, titles, or intellect, while underestimating the quiet yet irresistible force that wealth commands. In the corridors of influence, money is the instrument that whispers in every ear, moves unseen hands, and molds the course of events without ever exposing its wielder to risk. It is the silent architect of allegiances and the unseen arbiter of destinies. When wielded with intent, money creates influence in ways that raw authority cannot. It can bend decisions, inspire admiration, and even provoke fear. A well-timed gift can win loyalty from those who would otherwise resist, turning competitors into allies and allies into devoted supporters. The key lies in understanding that people are rarely motivated purely by principle. They respond to opportunity, comfort, and advantage. Wealth, in this sense, becomes a lever to unlock the desires, ambitions, and weaknesses of those around you. It allows one to manipulate situations with a subtlety that brute force cannot achieve, because it offers a choice, a promise of gain that people willingly accept, while concealing the true intent behind the gesture. Consider the nature of favors and obligations. When a person receives assistance, whether it is financial aid, investment in a venture, or a luxurious token, they are immediately placed in a subtle web of dependency. The human mind instinctively seeks to repay, to acknowledge, and to align with those who provide tangible benefit. In this way, money does not merely buy goods or services. It purchases loyalty, gratitude, and influence. Even the strongest, willed individuals are susceptible, for no one exists in a vacuum. Every decision is shaped, consciously or unconsciously, by the opportunities and rewards presented to them. To those who understand this truth, wealth becomes a silent ambassador, advocating their power and interests wherever it is deployed. Influence, however, is not simply a matter of giving freely. True power emerges when money is applied strategically, with precision and timing. A gift or financial intervention given too soon or too abundantly may appear careless, even naive, and lose its ability to sway. Conversely, an investment or loan extended under the right conditions can create a debt far greater than its monetary value, a debt that binds actions, loyalty, and silence to the giver's will. By controlling the flow of wealth, one can control the flow of decisions, determining who rises, who remains in place, and who bends to your direction. Those who fail to grasp this principle often find themselves maneuvered by others who wield resources with cunning and foresight, never realizing that their influence is being quietly eroded. Money also commands perception. In the eyes of many, those with wealth embody competence, security, and power. Even without a single act of manipulation, the mere presence of financial strength shifts the dynamics of interaction. Individuals tend to seek the favor of the wealthy, assuming alignment with power will yield benefit. They defer, they propose alliances, and they act with caution, all without the wealthy person lifting a finger. The display of money can thus act as both shield and sword, a shield that deflects challenges and a sword that compels cooperation. It is this duality that renders wealth an unparalleled instrument of influence. Moreover, influence extends beyond direct interactions. Money shapes environments, institutions, and societies. It funds the creation of opportunities, controls access to resources, and establishes standards of value. Those who control wealth dictate what is desirable, who gains attention, and who is marginalized. By understanding the patterns of dependency and reward, one can insert themselves into positions of unseen authority, guiding outcomes from behind the scenes. To wield influence is to orchestrate events subtly, to align ambition and fear in others with your own goals, and to make your presence felt even in absence. In this way, the power of money is both immediate and enduring. It is immediate because it can sway decisions and actions the moment it is deployed. It is enduring because it establishes systems of loyalty, expectation, and dependence that persist long after the initial investment. Each coin placed with strategy is a seed of influence, capable of growing into networks of allegiance and authority that reinforce the wielder's position. Those who underestimate this principle may see wealth merely as comfort, a tool for indulgence, or a marker of social status, never recognizing that its true potential lies in the subtle control it grants over human behavior. Generosity, when wielded without purpose, is the hallmark of the naive. It creates admiration, yes, but often fails to produce influence, leaving the giver exposed and the receiver unbound. Strategic generosity, however, transforms the simple act of giving into a powerful instrument of control, loyalty, and subtle manipulation. It is not the abundance of gifts that matters, but the careful calibration of who receives them, when they are given, and in what form. Each act of generosity must be deliberate, aimed at producing a reaction that aligns with the giver's objectives. The first principle of strategic generosity is the creation of dependency. Those who benefit from your wealth, if approached correctly, will find themselves entwined in obligations they barely recognize. The human mind instinctively evaluates balance. Receiving without reciprocation unsettles most, and a carefully administered gift leverages that imbalance. By providing resources that others cannot easily obtain elsewhere, one establishes a silent tether, a subtle psychological chain that encourages alignment, loyalty, and compliance. The more essential the gift, the stronger the tether, and the more influence it secures. One's generosity thus becomes a mechanism of control, guiding decisions and behavior without force, argument, or confrontation. Equally important is the perception of generosity. People are quick to celebrate those who provide, often overlooking motives entirely. By displaying acts of giving, whether publicly or in carefully chosen circles, the giver cultivates an aura of power and benevolence. The perception alone can inspire admiration and deference, creating opportunities to expand influence further. Strategic generosity, therefore, operates on two levels: the tangible benefit granted to recipients and the intangible impression cast upon observers. Both work to elevate the giver's authority, as others are drawn toward the promise of benefit and the prestige associated with being favored. Timing is crucial in the execution of generosity. A gift given at the precise moment of need carries more weight than one given indiscriminately. To provide support during a crisis, to offer assistance when options are scarce, or to extend resources at a critical juncture positions the giver as indispensable. The recipient's gratitude is amplified, their sense of obligation intensified, and their alignment with the giver's interests strengthened. Conversely, generosity offered prematurely or without discernment risks being undervalued, wasted, or even resented. To wield influence through generosity is to read the landscape of needs, ambitions, and weaknesses with meticulous attention, striking when the opportunity maximizes leverage. Strategic generosity also involves selective investment in relationships. Not all recipients hold equal potential to reinforce one's position. Some are better leveraged for loyalty, others for access, and still others as conduits to further influence. The discerning giver identifies those whose dependence will produce tangible benefit, those whose ambitions can be shaped, and those whose gratitude can be converted into allegiance. By concentrating resources where they yield maximum strategic value, generosity transcends philanthropy and becomes a tactical instrument capable of altering hierarchies, consolidating power, and reinforcing authority across multiple levels. Another layer of strategic generosity is the subtle interplay between reward and expectation. Giving without expectation is often admired but rarely influential. Giving with a nuanced expectation, however, cultivates reciprocal behavior while maintaining discretion. Small favors, carefully administered, plant seeds of future compliance. Larger gifts, timed correctly, can secure decisive loyalty. The key lies in shaping behavior without explicit demand, creating a sense of voluntary alignment while subtly guiding the recipient's choices. Those who fail to master this balance often find that their wealth is celebrated, but their influence remains limited. Strategic generosity can also serve as a tool of deterrence. By selectively extending resources to allies and withholding them from adversaries, one establishes networks of advantage that reinforce one's own strength. The visible loyalty of those who benefit contrasts with the isolation or dependence of those who do not, subtly signaling to rivals and observers alike where influence truly resides. This controlled distribution of wealth becomes a mechanism to shape not only relationships, but the broader dynamics of power within a group, organization, or society. Finally, strategic generosity requires patience and observation. Influence is rarely instantaneous. It is cultivated over time through repeated, deliberate acts that reinforce perception, obligation, and alignment. The shrewd giver monitors the responses to each act, adjusting future gestures to maintain leverage and deepen loyalty. Every gift is part of a larger pattern, a carefully woven tapestry designed to create interdependence, respect, and subtle control. Power without leverage is a brittle construct. One may possess wealth, influence, and recognition, yet without the ability to control the actions and decisions of others. All advantage is fragile and fleeting. Control is the mechanism through which influence becomes authority, and leverage is the subtle art of bending circumstances, alliances, and ambitions to one's will. Those who understand the interplay between money and leverage recognize that true power is rarely enforced through overt action. It is quietly orchestrated through calculated manipulation of resources and obligations. Wealth, in this sense, is the most versatile instrument for establishing such control because it can bind, compel, and guide without resistance when applied correctly. To wield control effectively, one must first understand the networks and relationships within which power circulates. Every individual operates within a web of desires, fears, and ambitions. By identifying these motivations, the shrewd operator can determine where leverage can be applied most effectively. A well-placed loan, an investment in a crucial project, or the selective withdrawal of financial support can shift allegiances, provoke dependence, or subtly coerce action. The art of leverage is in understanding not merely the superficial needs of others, but their underlying ambitions and vulnerabilities. The person who masters this does not act with brute force, but with precision, using wealth as a silent, invisible hand that guides outcomes in their favor. Debt is one of the most potent instruments of leverage. When someone owes more than a trivial amount, they are compelled to consider the interests of the creditor in every decision. It is not necessary to demand loyalty outright. The psychological weight of obligation ensures that the debtor's choices are filtered through the lens of repayment and recompense. This leverage extends beyond the immediate transaction. It shapes behavior, cultivates attentiveness, and fosters alignment with the strategic goals of the lender. Similarly, investment creates dependence not only through capital, but also through opportunity. Those whose ventures are financed, whose ambitions are enabled by external resources, are subtly guided to act in ways that protect and advance the position of their benefactor. Control also arises through the manipulation of scarcity and access. Resources, when perceived as limited or difficult to obtain, become more valuable and thus more controllable. By regulating who has access to wealth, influence, or opportunities, one creates a hierarchy of dependency where loyalty is not merely encouraged, but incentivized. The power of selective generosity lies not only in the act of giving, but in the conscious denial of resources to those whose compliance or alignment has not been secured. In this way, control is exercised without confrontation, and leverage is built silently into the structure of relationships. The interplay between reward and threat is central to leverage. Wealth provides a dual instrument. It can entice, reward, and attract, while simultaneously serving as a tool of restraint, intimidation, and deterrence. Those who possess the ability to grant or withhold financial resources can orchestrate behavior across entire networks of individuals, influencing decisions without ever issuing commands. This subtle, almost imperceptible power is far more effective than direct coercion, for it allows individuals to believe they are acting autonomously even as they are guided by unseen forces. The strategic application of money transforms it from a simple resource into a dynamic lever capable of shaping actions, perceptions, and alliances simultaneously. Observation and timing are critical to maximizing leverage. The value of control is realized not through rash or indiscriminate application, but through careful monitoring and selective intervention. By observing patterns of behavior, ambitions, and vulnerabilities, one can determine precisely where leverage will yield the greatest return. A minor act of financial influence, deployed at the right moment, can precipitate decisions that resonate far beyond the initial investment. Conversely, misapplied leverage can breed resentment, distrust, or even rebellion, highlighting the necessity of patience and discernment in the exercise of control. Leverage also extends beyond individuals to systems and institutions. Money can influence the direction of organizations, industries, and even political structures when applied with strategy. Funding projects, controlling access to capital, or strategically supporting initiatives shapes the rules and boundaries within which others operate. Those who understand this principle recognize that the greatest power is exercised not by overt domination, but by shaping the environment in which decisions are made. Wealth, when deployed intelligently, becomes a structural force that channels ambition, dictates priorities, and subtly enforces compliance across entire networks. Finally, control and leverage are reinforced through repetition and consistency. Each transaction, investment, or allocation of resources builds a web of dependencies, expectations, and psychological imprints. Over time, these accumulations produce a lattice of influence that extends far beyond the original act, creating enduring authority and reliable alignment. The true mastery of leverage lies in understanding that power is cumulative. Small, strategic applications of financial influence, when layered over time, yield control that is as resilient as it is invisible in the end. Money is never merely currency. It is the most subtle and potent instrument of power. Those who understand its true nature wield it not as a tool for comfort or indulgence, but as a weapon to shape loyalty, manipulate rivals, and orchestrate outcomes unseen. Wealth allows one to create dependencies, to inspire devotion, and to bend circumstances to one's will, all while maintaining the illusion of choice for those who are influenced. It commands respect without violence, forges alliances without coercion, and secures authority without exposure. To weaponize money is to master patience, observation, and precision, to understand the desires and vulnerabilities of others, and to act with strategic intent at every turn. Every gift, every investment, every withheld resource is a calculated move on a board where human ambition and fear intersect. Those who fail to recognize this risk being swept aside by others who do, leaving influence and opportunity to those who are willing to use wealth not as an indulgence, but as a silent, unstoppable force of control. Ultimately, the power of money lies not in its abundance but in its application. The wise understand that true dominance is achieved not through the display of wealth, but through the cultivation of dependency, the creation of leverage, and the orchestration of perception. Money, when wielded with intent, becomes a weapon sharper than any blade, a shield stronger than any army, and a force that reshapes the world according to the will of the one who knows how to use it.